All right, look, I'm fully aware that the title of this video probably looks a little bit pompous and might even be a bit of a hint that this is going to be kind of an advert as well as a video. But I need you to bear with me because I'm just so excited about this and I've got to share it. So, yeah, we've not been putting up as many videos as usual lately. So much so to the point that actually before the most recent video after that was one me saying I'm not dead, and yeah, we are actually still an active channel. There's just been a lot of other stuff going on. Chiefly among that, as we've started to take on more commercial clients and I've also taken on an apprentice, there's been two big things that have kind of changed about my everyday work. For starters, I'm doing far less of the lower quality stuff now. The tabletop and high tabletop stuff is far more my apprentice's job now and is less my remit. But also having an apprentice has meant that I've really had to get my teacher hat on and focus on his development and actually figuring out where he needs to get better and what I can do as his teacher to help him achieve those goals. And well, just take a look here at some of his minis from when we first started working together compared to some of his minis from more recently. He's really leveling up, and so could you. Because having that teacher hat on has got me kind of obsessed now with trying to pass on some of what I've learned over the years and help other people overcome some barriers. And the big one tends to be pushing past tabletop level. So we've designed a little class. At the moment, it's designed to be a one-day class that focuses on exactly that, just pushing past that tabletop level and starting to get to grips with and familiarize yourself with some of the more advanced techniques that you'll need for high tabletop, display, and even competition level painting. Now, we just got back this past weekend from delivering said class to a wonderful group near Winchester, and that was all put together with the help of my good buddy and fellow YouTuber Rising Ape Minis, and you definitely should check his channel out, especially if you're into 3D printing and gadgetry and some of the stuff that we touch on but aren't necessarily as in-depth on this channel. We had 16 learners in total, which was probably about capacity for the room size, to be fair, and for the equipment that we had in order to embiggen the visual projection of what I was doing. And during that class, we spent a lot of time on things like different blending and lighting methods, for example, just to produce a more refined finish to your miniatures. We went over some really simple non-fuss ways that you can approach non-metallic metal, focusing less on highlight placement and more on just maximizing contrast and kind of faking it till you make it. We even got a little bit of time at the end to have a bit of a mad scramble to get some bases together, and people were trying to produce bases in just the last 20 minutes of the class, which actually was a really fun finish to it when everyone was starting to get a bit tired and needed something to wake them up a little. Now, a class like this obviously isn't going to turn you into a master painter, because I'm not a master painter and I'm not trying to say that I am. But the reason I've put this class together is largely because YouTube as a platform, especially with its leaning towards sensationalism, which is, kind of why I had to title this video the way I did, it doesn't necessarily work super great for tutorials these days. Other than YouTubers with large established fan bases that they've had for a long time, if you look at view counts across the platform, tutorials just aren't performing that well for miniature painting. And I think there's a few reasons for that. Chiefly among them has got to be just the specificity of it all. You might want to really zoom in on something super specific and just figure that thing out. And well, a video is, it's all predetermined, right? It's what's there is what gets put up, and you follow along, and if the questions that you have aren't answered, you might be able to get an answer in the comments, but that answer is going to be text-based, and you're probably not going to learn the thing you wanted to learn. And of course, the reverse side of that is for us as the people trying to help you grow as a painter. we have to try and think about specifically what we need to put up that you actually need to know. I mean, I've put up countless tutorials in the early days of this channel, and actually one of the best performing videos on the whole channel is how to paint wing membranes. That's so incredibly specific, and honestly, I thought of it by accident. I've struggled like crazy to replicate the performance of that video because it's just such a tiny niche little specific fiddly thing that apparently so many people need help with. But I mean, why would I think to put that up? It was always gonna be accidental. I just was painting a wing and figured I'd film it. And so this is where classes can be really beneficial. In 5, 6, 7 hours with a lunch break in the middle, you can get some one-on-one time with the tutor, as well as having an overall framework, stuff that you're going through. Your tutor, in this case me, will walk around the room and actually spend some time with each individual learner at regular intervals to make sure that people haven't got questions or that they need to confirm or, figure something out or whatever. And that really, really helps. In fact, it's probably the way that I would learn easiest and probably explains why I'm enjoying doing it so much. Now, if you didn't watch my ChillCon video after I got back from last year's event, and I honestly wouldn't blame you, not many people did watch that video because on the surface, kind of just looks like a convention review, which is maybe not the most entertaining. But actually, that convention was amazing and I loved it so much. So obviously, when the ChillCon folks decided to get in touch and ask if I wanted to deliver my painting class at ChillCon next year, it was a no-brainer. So this will probably be the most open to the masses version of this class that we do for a while, because, well, people attend ChillCon from all over the UK. And so if you want to come along and you want to check it out, I will throw some links down below to where you can get tickets. Bear in mind, this is a full day course, so the tickets are going to be somewhere around the 50 quid mark because you're getting an entire day's worth of learning, and that means I have to spend an entire day's worth of money hiring the room that we'll be teaching you in. However, that said, if you do feel sort of stuck in that tabletop rut and you want to break free, I really do feel confident that I can help you do that. I've got a few awards under my belt at this point, and I'm starting to get much more confident in my painting. The bigger clientele, the slight bit of prestige that comes with winning a few awards, you start to realize what you're good at. And well, while I might not be the best painter in the world, I'm certainly not Sergio Calvo or Masclan's Miniatures, but I am a good teacher, and that probably is because I actually used to work in a college. I have experience teaching already, and specifically, I've done a lot of work with people with additional learning needs. So that side of things kind of comes natural to me, and if you want to get into expanding and improving your repertoire of skills and abilities when it comes to miniature painting, I'm confident that I'll have at least something that can help you. So please, if you're tempted by classes, if you've thought about doing one before, give ours a think. Maybe it's for you. It'll be at ChillCon next year. It'll be there for you. We're going to love doing it no matter how many people turn up, but there are limited places. So I felt like it was worth putting a video out there to talk about classes, to talk about how helpful they've been to me, and to maybe encourage you to come along to the next big one. ChillCon has, of course, got a bunch of other wonderful things to attract you, so it's well worth coming and taking part. There's tons of demo games. There's a bring and buy sale. Last year, Dave from MS Paints was there. We had Transatlantis, the people that make the Tooth and Coats paints were there. Warlord Games were there. Me, Suggs and Peachy all kind of turned up together and were mobbing around. It was just a really good time. And if you want to meet other folks who are into the same hobby as you want to play some games that you've maybe never played before, you want to buy a few bits and bobs, you want to hang out, learn some stuff, and just have a fun time with like-minded nerds, a more relaxed, slightly more condensed, slightly smaller con like this is a much less nerve-wracking way to do so. So I hope I'll see you at the con. I really hope I'll see you at the class. And if, of course, you have a wargaming group or a store or something like that, and you're interested in perhaps having us deliver the class to your group, then get in touch. All my social media contacts and all of that are always posted below in the description of the video. One final thing I do want to do is just show you some of the cracking finished pieces that people knocked out over the course of this class. The miniature was very kindly provided to us by Cobra Mode, who make awesome 3D printed STLs that you can download and just go ham with. Their sculpts are really artful and beautiful, so thank you so much Cobra Mode for providing the miniature, and yeah, I hope you're enjoying looking at all of the beautiful pieces that everyone put out. But that's all I've really got to say for this one, folks. I did say it was a bit of an ad, but I think you can probably understand why I had to put something together like this. I hope you enjoy it, and I really would love to see you at the class, so get in touch if you're interested in coming along. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you in the next one, and bye for now.